University, the Bearcats from Greenwood, South Carolina. In goal, number 1, a sophomore from Westendorf, Germany, Simon Riethmir. Number 3, a junior from Essex, England, Joe Lindley. Number 7, a freshman from Glickenkirchen, Germany, Kevin Rubashevsky. Number 8, a junior from Mansfield, England, Harry Birkenshaw. Number 10, a junior from Birmingham, England, Max McNulty. Number 11, a senior from Nottingham, England, Tom Marriott. Number 14, a junior from Hampshire, England, Liam Doyle. Number 15, a junior from Marseille, France, William Thompson. Number 16, a senior from Burnley, England, Luke Jordan. Number 28, a junior from Charleston, South Carolina, Owen Hamilton. And 29, a freshman from Rotherham, England, Charlie Curtis. The Bearcats are coached by Lee Squires. He's assisted by Dale Parker and Evan Rogers. And now the starting lineup for your Francis Marion University Patriots. In goal, a sophomore from Italy, number 0, Riccardo Rossi. Number 3, a junior from Bogota, Colombia, John Castro. Number 4, a graduate student from Renzuzu, Spain, Oler Bernanola. Number 5, a senior from Perth, Australia, Sam Pollard. Number 7, a freshman from Lichtenberg, Germany, Nick Quinnick. Number 8, a senior from Ipswich in Suffolk, England, Oliver Peters. Number 9, a junior from Madrid, Spain, Javier Bayo. Number 11, a junior from Madrid, Spain, Alvaro Zamora. Number 12, a sophomore from Spain, Rodrigo Alvarez. Number 16, a sophomore from Hamburg, Germany, Kimo Limke. And 24, a junior from Asunción, Paraguay, Sebastian Garcia. Patriots are coached by Luis Rincon. He's assisted by Kevin Martin and Yosemar Huerta. The athletic trainer is Trevor Hess.
And welcome to Florence, South Carolina. If you're joining us by live stream, thank you for listening in. We have the Francis Marion Patriots today going up against the Lander University Bearcats here. What a wonderful day to have a match here on this pitch here at Hartzler Field. It's going to be an interesting matchup between Francis Marion and Lander University. Lander University coming into this match as the number 10 ranked team in NCAA Division II soccer. They've got a special team, but so does Francis Marion University, who's been receiving votes to get into that top 25 poll. Now today, Francis Marion's coming out with a good lineup with Riccardo Rossi in goal, John Castro in defense, Ower Bornaiola in defender, Sam Pollard at midfield, Nick Hunick, Oliver Peters, Javier Bayo, Alvaro Zamora, Rodrigo Alvarez, Kimo Limke, and Sebastian Garcia. They're coached by Luis Rincon. He's looking to get into the top 25 this year. This team is eager to get into the top 25. And that all starts today with stopping the Lander University Bearcats. Lander's coming in here, their first game as well as Francis Marion, so they're looking to cap off this season with a dub. Here today we got this game getting going ahead. Great weather, like I stated. Sun's going down. Crisp weather here on the pitch. Excellent field conditions. Let's go ahead and get this match started. The Patriots set to kick off. Emo Limke with the kickoff here. And here we go as the Patriots pass the ball back. They're going to send a long shot down the field to get to. Looks like Zamora is not going to get there in time. There's going to be a win for the ball there for Lander as they're going to go. There's going to be a call there. It's going to be a foul by Oliver Peters. That's going to be a warning for Peters here. Quick and early call on Francis Marion University. And it's a yellow card out of the gate, not even a minute into the game. A yellow card for Oliver Peters. I don't know about that call there, but definitely an early start to be giving out a yellow card here. Castro trying to present his case, but referees today are Hugo Loretto. He's going to be our head referee who made the call there. Assistant referee Brandon Ingram and David Diaz. And it's going to be a free kick here for Lander University, just a few yards outside of the box. Taking the free kick is Tom Marriott from Nottingham, England. There's going to be a two-man wall here for Francis Marion with John Castro, Kimo Limka manning the wall. The free kick is up, and it's going to be just wide left there. Wide right, excuse me. Ricardo Rossi with an early scare there from Lander University. They're going to go ahead and get the ball back in play. John Castro is going to move the ball through the air down the field. Lander here controlling a lot of the possession right now. And they're staying on Francis Marion's side of the field. Berkhamshaw tries to play a through ball, but John Castro's there. Plays it back into the box. Ricardo Rossi's going to take a touch. He's going to dribble it. That's going to be a through ball there to get to the middle, get that ball out of the box by the Francis Marion Patriots. And there's going to be another call there by head referee Hugo Loretto. As Francis Marion plays the ball very quickly. They're switching the field here a little bit to John Castro. Tried to get it to Zamora there, but that's not happening. Lander University heads the ball forward. Very physical play so far here by both teams. That's another try to get the ball downfield to Max McNulty, from Birmingham, England. I got to remember, a lot of these players are from out of the States. A lot of players from England here for Lander today. England, Germany, France. They're from all over the place. As Marriott's going to send a through ball there. That's going to be headed down. Sam Pollard out wide. Going to take a couple touches here. Passing it around the back. The Patriots trying to figure out something here as Lander and Francis Marion have started this game out very fast. And Ricardo Rossi's got to be on his toes here as Lander has been pushing the ball forward very successfully so far. And that's going to be intercepted by Lander. And it's going to be won back by Francis Marion. Peters switches it out wide to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Castro. Castro to Limka in the middle. Limka's got plenty of space to go forward. He sends a nice through ball to Sam Pollard. Sam Pollard's going to be looking for the cross, and Lander's going to kick that one right out of bounds. Their defense so far has been very good as Francis Marion still trying to find a way to get onto their side of the field, but successfully did on this attack. As Limka there. And they're trying to get it to Pollard again, but it's intercepted by Lander. Lander sending a through ball. Alvarez trying to cut it off, not quite there. As Lindley there from Essex, England hits. Oh, and the through ball is too much there for Marriott. He's going to be sending that to a goal kick here for Francis Marion University. Ricardo Rossi, goalkeeper here for the Patriots, number 0. He is from Verona, Italy, previous school, University of Verona. He's going to get that quickly in. Limka here, plenty of space to move forward. Limka to Zamora. Zamora to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Limka in midfield. Switching the field here to Peters. Peters looking for Sam Pollard. A beautiful through ball by Peters, and it's going to be a cross. And Niels goal, Anson, excuse me. Nick Hunick there on the goal. A beautiful through ball. Does the Patriots get a score on the board very early? Nick Hunick with a beautiful finish in the top of the goal there. Definitely caught Lander off guard there. Nick Hunick, forward from Lichtenberg, Germany, on the finish there. I got a little confused there. Thought it was Niels Goldbranson. Got to remember they got some blondes on this team that look quite alike, but Hunick a little bit shorter than the tall Goldbranson. As Lander here, definitely shocked by that early start by Francis Marion, but definitely the start the Patriots wanted. As Lander slowly passing it around the back, trying to figure out the point of attack here. And I got to pass that out to here at the back with William Sobney, excuse me. Lander here playing a little bit of back and forth. Sam Pollard trying to slide. Here's maybe a through ball for Lander, but no, it is not. It is recovered by the Patriots. That's going to be booted up to the front, but Zamora is going to try to get a touch on it, and Lander's going to ultimately win that one back. Lindley here going to lose it. Limka with some nice dribbling skills there. He's going to be on the run. It's a 3-on-4 here. Hunick down the line. Going to be looking for the cross again, but it's not going to be there for Francis Marion. Lander wins the ball back. Out to Lindley, the captain for Lander. Marriott's got plenty of space here down the line. As Marriott could be looking for McNulty, but he passes back to Lindley. Lindley back to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw back to Lindley. And Lander here moving the ball around, trying to put the Patriots out of position, trying to find a way of attack here as they continue to possess the ball on the back line here. Lindley down the line, going to try to put some moves on Alvarez here. Going to try to put a through ball into McNulty, and it's not going to be there. It's going to be a goal kick for the Patriots. Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank some sponsors today. Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Services, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Raines Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, Comfort Inn, and the Hyatt Place. As Oliver Peters here, trying to move the ball forward here. Sam Pollard on the edge. Going to look to pass it back. Limka here, Castro open on the sideline, but Limka's going to keep it. He's going to pass it back again. As Garcia tried to sneak that pass in, but it snuck out of bounds for the Patriots. Lander passing it back to the goalkeeper, Simon Rethmere. Lindley back. Hunick putting on the pressure. The Patriots almost came up with a sneaky one. Hunick here trying to win the football. He cannot ultimately win that as Lander remains possession. And now that the sun has finally gone down here at Hartzler Field, it's a beautiful day for a soccer match here on this pitch. Excellent weather, like I stated before. Perfect conditions out here. Barely any wind. Going to be a good night for men's soccer here in Florence, South Carolina. Sam Pollard here intercepts the pass from Lander. Zamora with the turn. Zamora looking to put some moves on. Out to Alvarez. Alvarez got plenty of space. Back to Zamora. Zamora looking for a nice through ball to Hunick. Hunick can't stay with it. Marriott with the ball. And it's intercepted again by the Patriots. Out to Sam Pollard here. Sam Pollard going to move it down the field with that pace that he has. Looking to cross it in. And he is out. Strengthened there by Lander as he loses the ball, trying to make another run. Lander again trying to keep possession on the back line. There's Lindley here. Passing it back to his defender, Owen Hamilton. Back to Williams. Back to William Zobny. Rubicheski. Lander again playing the possession game here. Playing the possession game until they can find a way to get a through ball or something of that nature. But Francis Marion putting on the straps right now. Is Berniola here looking to get that out of there, and he does. Limka trying to gain possession. Marriott. McNulty passes it to Rubicheski. Marriott with a shot. That's going to be wide left. The Conference Carolinas Digital Network, powered by Blue Frame, is the official digital network of Conference Carolinas. It will encompass all original programming from Conference Carolinas. The Conference Carolinas Digital Network is available online at conferencecarolinas.dn.com, as well as on platforms such as Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. Mobile devices include iPhone, iPad, and Android will also work with the default web browser. Learn more and start watching now on conferencecarolinas.dn.com. As Lander here past midfield, keeping a lot of the possession so far, but that is not enough as they are facing a 1-0 deficit to the Patriots right now. Lander out to Lindley. Berkhamshaw here. Berkhamshaw with a bad pass. That's going to be intercepted by Sebastian Garcia. Garcia out to Pollard. Pollard with a little bit of a bad pass to Peters. Back to Garcia. To Bernola. In toward the middle. Limka. Limka to Peters. Zamora here. And Zamora loses the ball as he's trying to keep that back, but that's going to be a foul on Zamora. Zamora trying to plead his case. Middle referee Hugo Loretta not going to be listening to a lot of these cases tonight. As he probably knew just as much as a lot of us Patriot fans that coming into this game it was going to be physical. The number 10 Lander, they're not going to stint down to Francis Marion. They're going to come out with full power, but Francis Marion as well, they're hungry to get into that top 25. So the Patriots definitely will be on full strength here. As Lindley here close to the box, looking for a cross, and that's going to be booted out by Garcia. Marriott here, looking for a shot, off the post. Sam Pollard clears it. That was a little bit of a scare there for Ricardo Rossi. I think he may have got a fingertip on it, but that was inches away from being a net there. They're going to get it back out to Marriott. Marriott trying to put some moves on Limka, getting a little handsy. To Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw loses it. Zamora retains it. Zamora back out to Sam Pollard. Pollard to Garcia. Garcia to Bernola. Out to Castro. Castro has plenty of green here. Alvarez not going to be able to keep that one. As Lindley kicks it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in here for the Patriots. with 31 minutes left in the first half. Peters gets it to Limka. Limka to Garcia. Garcia to Pollard. Zamora tried to make a run. Lander closed that off very quickly. Patriots moving the ball past midfield to Zamora down the sideline. Zamora putting on some moves. Zamora trying to get the ball into the box. It's going to be kicked out by Lander. Limka with the ball. Alvarez open on the corner here. And that's going to be a high flying ball here as Limka does a great job, a great effort to keep it in possession with the Patriots. As Pollard here with the ball. Pollard to Garcia. Garcia switches the field. Bernola. Bernola to Castro. Castro back to Bernola. Bernola to Garcia, keeping the ball on the back line here. Pollard with it. Pollard back to Garcia. Garcia moves up a little bit. Back to Pollard. Pollard looking for a big ball. And Pollard not there for that one. Lander intercepts it, gets possession back. Limka. Limka looking to switch field. Turns instead, passes it back to Garcia. Garcia to Pollard. Pollard looking for the big ball. He does. Tries to go to Hunick a little bit over his head, but that's going to be initially out by Alvarez. As Lindley does a good job of getting a throw in here for Lander, but that's going to put him in some tough position here in the back corner. And he tries to clear it here, and he does a good job. Peters going up for it. Peters lands awkwardly on his back, but he's good. He gets up. Marriott here on the attack. He's going to take too much of a touch there, and a great tackle by Bernola. As Hunick here trying to race for the football. And Loretto here. Coach Rincon not happy about that, as well as the supporting players for Francis Marion. They're going to give that to Lander, as it looked like it did bounce off of the Lander defender. But Francis Marion, unfortunately, not able to retain possession on that one. They're looking for a long throw here. Peters. Lander controlling the possession. Out to Lindley. Lindley with a big ball. That's going to be ultimately headed out by Bernola. I haven't heard a lot of Javier Bayo this afternoon, but he gets involved in a play right there. The leading scorer for Francis Marion University, the past games they've been playing in. As they're going to be refiguring the offense out here against Lander. They're sitting with a comfortable 1-0 lead. Bernola back to Garcia. Pollard way too much. Garcia tried to hit Pollard down the line, but it was just a little bit too much over his head. Francis Marion has been around for more than 50 years, but now more than ever, we're looking to the future. 13 new programs in 6 years. Majors in engineering, advanced healthcare, environmental science, and more on the way. New programs that meet the challenges of tomorrow. Your future depends on what you study today. And at FMU, your future is bright. As we get back into the match here, Francis Marion controls possession. As Garcia looks to move the ball forward here. Garcia, miscommunication there by the Patriots, as that's going to end up back at Lander's feet. Lander here with 3 shots to Francis Marion's 1. Unfortunately for Lander, Francis Marion's 1 shot was the one that went in. And that's unfortunate as well for Lander, as they're going to give the ball back to the Patriots here. A little bit too much there by defender Owen Hamilton. Bernola going to get it out wide to Garcia. Garcia with plenty of grass. Garcia, another pass that was way too much. A little bit too much foot on that pass. As Lander here moving the ball around the back line just like they've been doing all day. Retaining a lot of the possession in this game. But Francis Marion's been on their heels. They have been intercepting a lot of passes. They've been doing a lot of the similar things as Lander with the back line passing, reconfiguring their offense. But Lander here gets a ball. Francis Marion going to play physical to win it back. As Castro here, plenty of time to pass the ball around to Bernola. Bernola to Garcia, back to Bernola. Bernola looking to hit Castro. Castro going to spread the field out a little bit as Peters is making a run. Bayo to Peters. Peters is on sides. And it's going to be too much. There's going to be nobody there at the edge of the box. But some interesting play there by the Patriots. A good ball by John Castro. And a great header by Javier Bayo. Is that was so close to a great chance for Francis Marion University. The Patriots here have had a lot of chances as Castro pushing the ball forward. Alvarez with a big touch. Alvarez to Peters. Peters with some open space hits Castro perfectly. Castro with a through ball, and the keeper for Lander, Simon Rithmere, ends up coming out for that one. As Lander continues, and an awkward pass there by Lander as Peters ultimately wins it. Peters to Zamora. Zamora to Limka. Limka to Pollard. Pollard taking a little bit of time as the Patriots need to readjust here. Garcia with the ball. He's going to hit it up to Pollard. 23 minutes left here in this half. And a good slide tackle there by the Bearcats. It's going to be a throw in here for the Patriots. As Hunick's going to be open, he's ultimately going to get the throw in. They're going to try to force it here to Bayo. And it's going to be off sides for the Patriots. Interesting note, no corner kicks so far in this match. As Lander's going to ultimately win that one back. They're passing it around the back, retaining possession, reconfiguring the offense. Slowly moving forward. That's been Lander's thing all game, is to slowly move the ball around, but once they get that opportunity, they're going to pounce on it. Zobny here, the center back here, he's going to hit a long ball to Lindley, as Lindley's going to be open. Lindley's going to control possession. Ultimately won by Castro. And that's going to be cleared by Bernola as Hunick tries to retain it. Hunick does. Hunick to Alvarez. Alvarez moving around the field. Passes to Pollard, switches the field. Pollard to Bernola. Bernola to Garcia. Garcia to Pollard. Pollard to Zamora. Zamora's racing to get to that ball. He does at the corner flag. Pollard with the ball in. And it's cleared by Lander. An interesting opportunity there by the Patriots. That's not going to pay off as the Bearcats going to win possession back again. And another call against the Patriots there. That's on Sebastian Garcia. Getting a little bit too handsy there. As Lander slowly moving forward like their plan has been all game. As we've got some players for Lander getting a little warmed up on the sideline. It looks like some substitutions could be coming in soon, as well as Francis Marion. Berkhamshaw is going to pass it up. As Francis Marion there wins on some miscommunication by Lander. Zamora working the midfield. Out to Castro. Castro looking for the ball. Looking for a long ball to hit here. Ultimately, he's going to be won by Pace. And he wins the ball back from Lindley. And Henley not there to hit a volley. As Lander passes it back out to Lindley, the captain. Zobny was there to stop Francis Marion's chance there created by John Castro. The Bearcats here doing what they do, moving the ball, keeping the possession. An interesting strategy by the Bearcats. But it must work, being number 10 in the NCAA Division II men's soccer standings. As they're going to hit a long ball here to Lindley. That left side has been really open so far against the Patriots. Zobny. And again, Lander with some miscommunication, a bad touch. As Peters with some guys on his back. Pollard to Limka. Limka to Castro. Castro been heavily involved so far in the attack. Zamora is going to turn. Zamora to Alvarez. Oh, and a sneaky ball there by Alvarez, but ultimately going to fall into the hands of Lander. Berkhamshaw here passes it back to the defender. Charlie Curtis crosses it to Owen Hamilton. Owen Hamilton to Zobny. Zobny to Curtis. Curtis to Zobny. Zobny to Hamilton. Bayo trying to put a little bit of pressure on the defense. Lander going to move past half field here. Back to Curtis. Curtis with some green ahead of him. Curtis moving forward. Curtis keeping it. And that's a safe, very safe play there by Francis Marion, as Lander looking for the call, but ultimately the tackle had already been in the process before the player fell over Garcia. And he's looking to see what's going on here with Laredo. As Lander was pretty sure that was going to be their ball. As we've got some substitutions coming in for both teams here coming up. As the Patriots Switch it to Castro. Castro back to Bernola. Bernola to Garcia. Garcia to Hunick. Hunick to Lemke. Alvarez calling for the ball as he's pretty open. Lindley hears it though. Bernola with some green. He's going to be looking for Hunick, but that's going to be intercepted by Lander. Lander ultimately turns it back over to Pollard. Pollard to Zamora. Zamora looking for Hunick at the flag. Can Hunick make it there? He's not going to be able to get there in time. A little bit too much boot on that ball. Has some substitutions here for the Patriots and the Bearcats. As for the Bearcats, Rubachevsky comes off for Max Bolton. And here for the Patriots, Bayo's going to come out for Jose Carballo up top. As Hamilton here with some pressure by Carballo. Excuse me, Jose Carvalho is how it's pronounced. The forward for Francis Marion right now who just came into the game. Hamilton here looking to get it forward to Lindley. Lindley. Oh, and a difficult call there by side referee as Lemke here. Oh, and that's got to be a call. Getting a little bit too handsy, Max Bolton. But ultimately, it's going to be in favor of Lander. And it looked like to me that Lander was actually pushing down. Max Bolton was pushing down Kimo Lemke to retain possession. To take the free kick, Tom Marriott, as well as Joe Lindley there for the short pass. I mean, looking here, Ricardo Rossi organizing the defense as Marriott takes it. He's going to cross it in, and it's going to be up in the air here as Lemke brings the ball back. Marriott. And that's going to be a foul by Alvarez. Going to be back to Lander. Lander going to get back to the defense. Pass the ball around to Curtis. Back to Curtis. To Hamilton. Hamilton to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw going to pass it back to the keeper, Simon Reithmere. Back to the keeper, Reithmere. Reithmere to Hamilton. Hamilton. Zobny. Zobny to Curtis. Curtis in to McNulty. McNulty going to be intercepted by Hunick, trying to get a ball to Carvalho. Zamora trying to also win the ball back. That's going to be to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw to Curtis with 12 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock. There's going to be more substitutions coming in here for the Bearcats and the Patriots, as they're going to send a ball over top, but it's going to be won back by the Patriots. Bernola here to Peters. Peters to Alvarez. Back to Castro. Castro with a nice ball to Carvalho. Can Carvalho get there? He's going to be outpaced by Hamilton. Hamilton back to Reithmere. Reithmere back to Hamilton. Hamilton to Zombie. Zombie to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw out to Curtis. Patriots looking to win the ball back. They do. Pollard pushing it up the field. Pollard back to Peters. Peters out to Garcia. Garcia back to Bernola. Bernola looking for a long ball. Bernola to Limka. Limka to Pollard. Pollard with some green ahead of him. To Zamora. Back to Pollard, and an unlucky bounce there. As Lander wins the ball back. And that's a good tackle by the Patriots. Going to be Lander ball. As it looks like possibly substitutions here for the Patriots. Cole Branson coming in the game for Hunick. The two Blondes trade places here for the Patriots. As well as it looks like Hafet Santiago has came in. We'll get a better look as they switch over here to this side. As Lindley's going to try and win that ball, but it's going to be into the crowd. And the crowd might be going home with a souvenir. The crowd with a scare there is, thank God somebody's baby wasn't there. As that ball came screaming into the crowd. Lander with the throw in. They're going to win it to Zombie. Zombie to Curtis. And he's going to slip there as it's going to be a race to the ball between Bernola and Bernola with the strength there, the physicality, as they're going to clear it out. Cole Branson with his height should win a lot of balls downfield today. Cole Branson wins it, and it's going to be called back in Lander's favor with under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. And referee coming over to head coach Luis Rincon. Exchange a couple words here on the sideline. I guess that was Rincon's warning, as things have been getting a little bit chatty over there on the Francis Marion bench. As Lander here going to keep the possession. Out to Hamilton. Hamilton. It's going to be too much of a through ball there, as the Patriots are going to let that one roll out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick here for Ricardo Rossi. As Francis Marion here going to be playing the ball short. We haven't seen a big goal kick here by Rossi so far. We've got a couple of new fresh legs in here for the Patriots with under 9 minutes to go here in the first half. A through ball not going to be able to get there, unfortunately. Curvelo could get there to Hamilton, but Hamilton ultimately gets it back to the keeper here for Lander, Simon Reithmere, who's had a couple of scares so far towards the end of this half. But the defense has been able to bail him out. Lindley here with a nice ball. Peter's going to control that one nicely. That's out to Castro. Castro back to Santiago. We were right. That is Hafet Santiago on the field for the Patriots, who came in the substitutions a few minutes ago here. As Lindley's going to send the ball. Castro's going to win it a little bit too much, but Limka's going to retain the possession here, as that's going to Pollard. Pollard back to Garcia. Garcia to Bernola. Bernola to Castro. Castro to Santiago. Santiago getting surrounded by Bearcat players. And hopefully, yeah, that's not going to be able to get there to Sam Pollard as Bernola sends that one over the head of defender Sam Pollard. You can call him a wingback as well because that's a lot of what Sam has been doing tonight, playing that real fullback position. He's been on the attack. He's been playing through balls, crosses. He's been involved in a lot of the offense, not just the defense tonight. As goal, Branson's going to put some pressure here on the Bearcat defenders. Zombie, the center back here, the man in control of this defense. As Hamilton, Lindley back, and Alvarez for the physical play there. Santiago to Alvarez, a little bit too much as Reithmere going to be able to be there and scoop it up for the Bearcats. 6 minutes left to play here in the first half. Limco wins it back. Bernola out to Castro. Castro to Alvarez. Alvarez defended by Lindley. Bernola. Limca going to make a nice turn there. Back to Alvarez. Alvarez with two guys there. He's going to try to make a skill move. And that's going to be in favor of the Patriots. There's a foul there for Lander's Liam Doyle. Liam Doyle here from Hampshire, England. As the Patriots going to get the ball forward to Alvarez yet again. A beautiful ball to Peters, but he's not going to be there. Another souvenir here for some fans, possibly. As Alvarez here with the throw-in. Kimo Limca lets the ball pass through him, keeps it out to Pollard. Look for a hard finish here with this 5 minutes left in the first half. Nice ball for Alvarez. Peters with the through ball. Peters going to have some room. He's going to switch it. Go Branson, back to Peters. Oh, and off the wrong edge of the boot there by the Patriots as Santiago there with a good look on goal, but ultimately can't finish. Unfortunate for the Patriots there. As Alvarez, he's been a very physical player tonight. But ultimately, Lander's going to keep that one. Lander pushing it down. Oh, and a beautiful tackle there. Looked almost effortless there for Sebastian Garcia. As Sebastian Garcia keeps the ball. Lander Bearcats going to stay on the prowl. As Cervello could possibly win this. He's not offsides either. But with a cross, Zombie going to be there to head it. And Santiago tries to win it back. Peters with a nice touch. Beautiful touch. Out to Pollard. Pollard back to Garcia. Garcia looking for a pass here to Limca. Limca back to Bernola. Bernola out to Garcia. Garcia to Pollard. Pollard tries to keep it in, but it is out for the Patriots. Lander gets the throw in. To Liam Doyle here in midfield. Liam Doyle to Zombie. Zombie to Hamilton. Cervello putting on some pressure. They're going to pass it back to Reithmere. Reithmere to Zombie. Zombie out to Curtis. Lander pushing it forward. Gets by. And a shot is blocked by FMU. Santiago almost there to keep Francis Marion past half field, but Lander wins it back as a great defensive play there by Alvarez. Cervello. It's a 1-on-2 for him. He's going to try and just keep the possession of the ball here as Limka back to Alvarez. Alvarez to Bernola. Bernola here to Pollard. Pollard to Santiago. Santiago finds an opening. Pollard down the wing. It's going to be a cross. Oh, and just over the head of Gulbranson, but it's actually going to be a goal kick here. And it's actually, they're going to reverse the decision here, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Patriots, as it did look like it came off the fingertips of Reithmere in goal. And it's going to be a long cross, a little bit too much, as Gulbranson plays it perfectly to win back the ball. He's on the corner flag. He's got the physicality, but it's won back by Curtis. A good effort play there by Gulbranson to try and make some moves in the box. Peters heads it back to Garcia. Garcia keeps it in play, but ultimately
1 minute remaining.
Going to be a throw-in here for the Patriots with 1 minute remaining here. We'll see what the Patriots have in their back pocket here with the last 40 seconds left. Gulbranson, they're going to call a foul here. It's going to be back to Lander with 35 seconds remaining. Lander going to be looking to push the ball forward or limit mistakes here. Is Lindley here. Lindley not going to have enough boot on it to Castro. Castro to Limka. Limka to Bernola. They're going to be looking to play a little bit simple here with the last 20 seconds, as they've got a comfortable 1-0 lead here in the first half against number 10 ranked Lander. As that's too soft of a pass there by Bernola. A little bit of a scare for Rossi. Limka to Garcia.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that's going to be it for the first half here. We'll be back after these short messages.
Let me paint you a picture. All of the graduates, all of the faculty, all of the administration, all of the board of trustees is decked out in their regalia. Their black robes, their hats, their gold tassels. It's just a most beautiful picture of a very formal kind of occasion. And here we march into the gymnasium, and the music is playing, and the gym is packed. And as we come in, and as you look up at all those people, you see families, huge families. You see not just mama and daddy and two brothers and a sister, but there's grandmama and granddaddy, there's the aunt and the uncle, they're the cousins, they're the next door neighbors. And you know why all those people are there? Because this is the very first one, the very first graduate. And I can guarantee you that when you go to that graduation, you leave with a tear in your eye, because it's so, so special.
This is Conference Carolinas.
The Swamp Fox Club is the fundraising arm of the Francis Marion University Athletic Department, and it supplies assistance to all 14 intercollegiate sports. On behalf of the student athletes at Francis Marion, I would like to thank all those who are members of the Swamp Fox Club for their support.
Thank you.
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 The world is changing, and Francis Marion University is leading the way as it prepares the young men and women for the future. We've added 5 new classroom buildings and 13 new academic programs in the past 6 years, and more are on the way. We're preparing to build a new environmental research center. We're expanding programs in engineering, business, education, healthcare, and the arts and sciences, and we're adding new fields when they're needed. When tomorrow comes, we'll be ready. Best of all, our students will too.
The desire and the love to take care of people is something that you kind of have innate. You kind of just have that thing. But Francis Marion gave me the principles, and they taught me the core values. They taught me leadership qualities, and they've just been foundational and offered a family that I can keep going back to. So even though my personal biological family didn't go to a university, and I didn't really get any experience, wisdom from them for that, I gained a family that could tell me all about college and even the afterlife of college by coming to Francis Marion. And I'm not sure you would have that with, other universities. Throughout the nurse practitioner program, you're already a nurse, and you're a devoted nurse, and you don't want to just quit. And that was another thing I specifically picked this program, was because I was able to look at the curriculum and know that I could work. I even asked a couple of the professors, one being Dr. Hopla, before I started the program, and even she told me, yes, you can still work while you do this. And I did. I worked 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Sometimes it had to be six days a week to get my 40 hours in, and I still did the nurse practitioner program. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth having is easy. Which the benefit of having classmates and professors that were both working and studying is, we would get worked up and worried about how would we ever do this. And then they would say, well, I can work these 2 12-hour shifts on the weekends and then have the week to study. Or a professor may say, well, you can get creative with your hours here. So you can tell that they've done this, that you can tell that they've gotten creative with their time as well. And then all of a sudden it doesn't feel like such a daunting task because, again, you gain wisdom from their experience.
Choosing a college isn't easy. There are lots of choices to make and so many variables to consider. How do you know when you've found just the right place? The right college will make you feel at home, and that begins with a sense of place. At Francis Marion University, we have a beautiful campus that's safe, well-maintained, and filled with smiling faces. It's the kind of place where you feel you belong, where you wake up in the morning and know that the day ahead will be one you'll savor and enjoy. Now, that doesn't mean life at FMU is easy. There will be challenges. Hard work is expected. We take our academics seriously. You should too. Earning one of our degrees is a real achievement. But some toil, some time invested in a difficult task, that's okay. That's how you grow, how you become someone. FMU is a comprehensive public university, and when it comes to academics, our students have a wide range of choices. We offer more than 75 majors and courses of study. Our professional schools in healthcare, engineering, business, and education are all well known and respected across the state. At the same time, the arts and the sciences remain the core of what we do. They are the perfect foundation for a successful career and a meaningful life. Programs are important, and we'll continue to work to produce new curriculum that meets the needs of our changing world. But we also know that a great education is less about what is taught and more about who is doing the teaching. FMU's faculty is made up of distinguished scholars and renowned researchers. They're experts in their field and expert teachers too. They love the give and take of the classroom and revel in the progress their students make. In FMU's intimate academic environment, where small classes are the norm, you'll get to know a lot of these dedicated men and women. Some you will remember forever. The academic work and its rewards are why you are here. But there will be a time and place for play, too. We have more than 60 different student organizations and field teams in 14 NCAA sports. A robust schedule of extracurriculars is a big part of each semester. You'll find space here for rest and relaxation. You'll make new friends and build relationships that last a lifetime. And then, almost as quickly as it all began, it will be over. You will graduate and move on to a life and career full of promise. You'll leave memories behind. You'll leave FMU, but you'll be welcome back anytime. Home is like that, you know. Welcome home. Welcome to FMU.
Welcome back here, folks, to the live stream of Francis Marion University facing off against Lander University. It wasn't the most eventful first half, but the Patriots here are leading 1-0 against number 10, Lander University. Number 10 in the top 25 poll of NCAA Division II men's soccer. Now that is a fantastic first half start to this season, for the Patriots at least. For Lander, on the other hand, they've got some catching up to do here in this second half. In the first half, it was a lot of slow pace, trying to retain the possession of the ball. That was definitely what Lander was all about. Lander was all about moving the ball on the back line, readjusting their positioning, trying to get the ball forward, but doing it in a slow-paced manner. Now, Francis Marion did a lot of the same stuff as well. You know, they were as well doing a lot of slow-paced possession passing around the back line. But when they got the chance, they were not afraid to send the ball deep. We saw Sam Pollard. We saw John Castro. They were sending a lot of balls, through balls, over the top balls, and these guys are both playing fullback. So, one thing we can take away from the Patriots offense in the first half is that it was just a little bit more efficient than Lander. Lander had more shots on goal, but for Francis Marion, their shots, they had 2, one of them going in, which was in the first couple of minutes by Nick Hunick. Nick Hunick here, number 7 forward, freshman from Lichtenberg, Germany. The first goal of the season by the Francis Marion Patriots being a freshman. That's got to be a big bundle of joy for head coach Luis Rincon, knowing that a lot of your younger players are going to be bringing this impact to the team already. Now, what we know from the second half is that Lander is definitely going to come out with more pace, more physicality. They're going to come out with probably a lot different of an approach to the Patriots' defense and offense as well, because we saw these fullbacks, like I said earlier, they're getting so involved with the attack. Castro, Pollard, we're seeing so much of it. And an interesting statistic for the Patriots is that their last win over a nationally ranked opponent was November 17th, 2019, a 1-0 win over, guess who, number 21 ranked Lander University in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament Championship match. Now, as you know, Francis Marion University has now moved from the Peach Belt Conference to the Conference Carolinas. So this is an interesting start for the Patriots here in their brand new conference, facing off against a top 10 opponent. This is big news, if you're asking me, for the Francis Marion Patriots. Now, what we can tell for the second half, the lineups will probably be adjusted a little bit, as we definitely saw a lot of players out there play a lot of minutes, and we saw a lot of players definitely going a little tired, because both of these teams are super physical. They're both have a lot of pace in the back, and they're not afraid to get physical with their hands at all. So, with Lander and FMU coming out here, you have to think that both of these teams are going to come out with different approaches. Coach Rincon definitely going to have a different approach here, as he's got some players warming up on the field. Now, Francis Marion had a chance to put the game at 2-0 with a chance by Hafet Santiago, but unfortunately couldn't get the boot exactly right on the ball. And unfortunately, it was wide left for the Patriots, but it wasn't a great opportunity for them to go ahead up 2-0. Unfortunately, they're up 1-0, but nobody's complaining about a lead here. And Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank a couple more sponsors: King Cadillac Buick GMC, McLeod Sports Medicine, Chick-fil-A, State Farm and agent Jim Stewart, Quincy's Steakhouse, Little Caesars, and La Quinta Inn and Suites. Now here we have the last minute of halftime rolling down. The two squads are getting ready. Francis Marion in their blue navy kits with a splash of white and red on there, as they are the Patriots. Lander here with their white pinstripe kits. They're coming out in a little bit of a odd drill, but they're getting ready. They're getting their boots ready. They're getting their legs warmed up. We'll see how this goes for Lander here in the second half. You've got to think that Francis Marion wants to play very strict and physical on defense here in this second half. And like I said, their last nationally ranked opponent win was in 2019, before COVID even started. So here's we have the clock, the last 10 seconds of halftime. Let's get it rolling here at Hartzler Field as the Patriots look to capitalize here in their first home game. As Lander huddled up close to midfield, about at the 40. A little bit of a motivational speech here from team captain Joe Lindley. As we see a couple of changes made to both teams, it looks like Francis Marion going out this second half with their original starting lineup, with Bayo back up top, Hunick, the goal scorer from the first half, up top, and the original bunch of the formation. Lander here coming out, looks like with their original squad as well. Maybe a couple changes here and there, but pretty much the same exact thing as Francis Marion. As the right wing is already moving down the field as they're getting their first play off, as Garcia heads it forward. Bayo with a nice shoulder pass to Zamora. Zamora to Peters. Peters to Castro. Castro with a lot of green ahead of him. He's going to be pacing up towards top. He's going to send a nice through ball to Bayo, and Bayo tries to put a boot on it, but he saves it inbounds. Into Zamora. That's going to be a corner kick. The first corner kick of this match for the Patriots. Let's see what the Patriots come out and do for their corner kick. Patriots putting Hunick in front of the goalkeeper. Reithmere, excuse me. Peters there for the short pass. You've got Bayo, Castro, Bernola, Hunick, and Zamora in the box for the corner kick, as well as Alvarez at the top of the box in case of a rebound. Taking the corner is Oliver Peters, and that is going to be a goal kick here as nobody got ahead on the ball. It's going to be a goal kick here for the Bearcats. And goalkeeper Reithmere going to be taking the goal kick, probably playing it short like most of the keepers have all game, and indeed he does. Zobny. Playing it outside to Hamilton. Zobny to Hamilton once again. Hamilton to Lindley. And that's going to be a foul on Peters here. As Peters helps. Looks like Harry Burkhamshaw to his feet. Pollard winning the ball. Bayo up top. Limka. Back to Pollard. Pollard moves it inside. Pollard to Peters. Peters to Zamora. Zamora to Limka. Limka back to Garcia. Garcia switches the field to Castro. Castro turns back to Bernola. Bernola back to Pollard. Pushes the ball forward to Peters. Peters to Bayo. Bayo to Pollard. Pollard takes some time with it. Pollard back to Garcia. Garcia with a nice move there. An in and out special there. And Castro's going to take it. Castro's going to take a shot. It's going to be a little bit wide right there, hitting the old Chick-fil-A sign in the back of the net. As Castro thought he had a little bit of a opening there past Reithmere, but couldn't quite get his boot on it. It's Hamilton here. Back to Zobny. Zobny. The big overtop ball to, looks like Max McNulty, as Bernola here going to regain possession hopefully for the Patriots, as Bayo doesn't win the header, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Patriots. As Pollard looks to take the throw in. He's got an open Zamora. He's looking for Zamora here. Oh, and that was almost an unlucky fan souvenir right there, as that ball came screaming into the sidewall. Pollard here looking for Bayo. Bayo going to win it. Another throw in for the Patriots. They're just moving down the field with these throw-ins, folks. That's 3 throw-ins here for the Patriots in favor, going out of bounds for the Patriots. As Pollard looks to take the throw in once again, getting involved in the attack. Like I've said previously, he's been involved in a lot of this offense this evening. Nick Hunick, though, going to win the throw in. He's going to look for a cross there, but it's going to be a little bit too much boot on it. Yeah, look for a ball in. It's going to be to the hands of Reithmuir as the Bearcats look to throw it out. Alvarez tries to speed to it. Alvarez got a lot of pace, but not a lot of pace to catch up with this. Off the back heel of Lander, and that's going to ultimately end that run for the Bearcats, as that was an interesting counterattack here for Lander, but ultimately ends up in favor of Francis Marion, as Francis Marion's got some players, or a player warming up on the sideline, 2 for Lander as well. As that looks to be Lander ball here. Bounces out of bounds off of a Francis Marion player. Limka, then another foul here on Francis Marion. It's going to be Lander's free kick. Lander probably going to play it short, is my guess here. It looks like Berkhamshaw is backing up to, not Berkhamshaw, but Rubacheski. Looks like he's backing up to hit a long ball. And that's exactly what he's doing, but it turned out to be too short into the boot of Sam Pollard. As Pollard passes back to Bernola. Bernola to Peters. Peters turns. Peters out to Castro. Castro with a lot of grass. Yeah, that is Castro. Wow. That's a lot of pace for John Castro there to get that ball up. He looked like a forward on that play. This is going to be another throw in here for the Patriots. Sam Pollard on the... he's not going to get it to him, unfortunately, as Lander's going to end up winning the ball back, and it's another foul here for the Patriots. They're being, like I said, very physical today. That's going to be on Bayo. And it's going to be an over-the-top ball. Garcia is going to ultimately be there. And it looked like it went off of McNulty, as it's going to be Patriot ball. Sam Pollard here taking the throw-in once again. Their go-to throw-in guy on this side of the field at least. Pollard with a great throw, but it's going to be over the head of Bayo and Zamora. And it's going to be into the boots of Hamilton. Hamilton looking to pass it in. Some physical play here by Castro. Berkhamshaw. Curtis here. Curtis to Luke Jordan. Pollard turns. Garcia clears it. And it's going to be to nobody, but a substitution came in for Lander that I have not seen this player yet. That looks like Grant Wagner here for the Bearcats. It's going to be another throw in here for the Patriots. Sam Pollard looks to get it to Zamora. A foul on Wagner here. That's going to be a Francis Marion free kick. Garcia to Bernola. Bernola to Castro. Castro with the pace. And it's going to be out of bounds. Not going to be able to keep it in bounds here. Alvarez could not control the ball enough. Lander here with the throw in. A little bit of a readjustment here. The throw in is up. And it's won by Lander. They've kept possession here on the throw in. And they managed to get through the flood of Patriot players there. As it's into Marriott. Marriott out to Luke Jordan. Luke Jordan against Sam Pollard. Sam Pollard's got the pace. He's got the physicality, but that's going to be Lander's first corner kick. Corner kick here. Who's going to be taking the corner kick for the Bearcats? It looks like Marriott is taking the corner kick. And the referee having to warn Lander for touching the keeper. As the ball is in and it's headed out by Renola, but ultimately headed back in by Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw, Ricardo Rossi punches it out. Does a good job there of clearing the box. Wagner to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw, and that's going to be hitting our building over here as Bernola clears it out. And what are the odds that a ball actually comes through the window here that we have open? Would be absolutely astonishing to see. As Francis Marion here with a very physical play. Alvarez clipped the legs of what it looks like Rubacheski. And Alvarez, and it looks like they're going to need some trainers out here for Lander. What makes a campus a home? At FMU, it's 836 acres spread across 3 campuses. Francis Marion University has the most diverse and exciting campus in South Carolina. No matter where you want to be, you're there at Francis Marion University. As we're trying to see here who is the injured player for Lander. He's still down, trying to make his way up. And it looks like Marriott. It looks like Tom Marriott, number 11 here for Lander. From Nottingham, England, the senior midfielder. Would be a terrible blow to Lander's starting lineup. As he is face down right now. We don't know what exactly occurred on that play. We are a little bit far away, but it looks like he's up on his feet now. Will he continue to play? He will not due to stoppage time. he will be taken off the field. As we do not know who has subbed in for Lander at the moment. But it is Patriots ball. It is a Patriots free kick. As Rincon is absolutely furious as he has thrown his water bottle across the sideline and does not enjoy what is being told to him right now. Rincon trying to plead his case, but it's possibly that a card is given out. I'm not exactly sure what the fuss is about on the sideline. I mean, if Rincon doesn't relax, it's going to be a yellow card, and it is a yellow card. I'm not sure if that was given to Rincon or a Patriot player. We'll get more for you here in the coming minutes. We're not exactly sure who the yellow card was given to. I want to say that it was given to Rincon after his incident with the water bottle there, because it is Patriot ball. It looks like head referee Hugo Laredo is making sure to add that to his book, as it looks like Luis is on thin ice here with head referee Hugo Laredo. And the free kick is going to be allowed to be in play here soon, hopefully, as we wait for the whistle to be blown. Still waiting for the whistle, and it's a go. As Pollard looking to take it. Pollard with a swing pass in, almost to Bayo, but ultimately headed out by Zombie. Pollard, the ball in the air, Zamora to Limka. Limka. Patriots going to win a throw in here. They're going to get that. And another stoppage here by head referee Hugo Laredo. We don't exactly and that's going to be another foul committed here, as Zombie going to be upset with whatever words Limka has spoken to him. It's going to possibly need some separation here from Bearcat and Patriot players. Take a second here to talk about some sponsors for Francis Marion University. McLeod Sports Medicine and McLeod Regional Medical Center, KFC and Arby's, Florence Toyota, PD Electric Cooperative, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Supply, Western Sizzling Steakhouse, State Credit Union, and Zaxby's. As it is going to be Lander ball here, as they're going to move the ball forward. They're going to switch it here to Curtis. Curtis back to Wagner. Wagner to Zombie, who has not been a fan of the recent fouls called by head referee Hugo Laredo. And Pete Oer Bernola winning the ball there, intercepting that. Sam back to Ricardo. Ricardo back to Pollard. Pollard going to make a run forward as McNulty looks to cut him off, but he does not. Hunick heads it to nobody. Nobody there for the passes. Reithmere out. Zombie to Hamilton. Birkinshaw, back to Charlie Curtis. Wagner moving the ball forward with a lot of green ahead of him. To McNulty. To Marriott, who's back in the game. We thought that was the injured player earlier, but it looks like he's fine. He's running full pace. Limka is a 1-on-3 here. And they end up still regaining possession with the throw-in. Sam Pollard here, been involved in a majority of these throw-ins as he's going to send it downfield. Bayo going to head it backwards, but it's going to be into the boots of Zombie. Zombie to Hamilton. Lindley here to Wagner. Wagner to Birkinshaw. Birkinshaw into the feet of Limka. He's going to intercept that. Bayo. Bad pass there, deflected off of Wagner. Marriott making a attack forward, but that's going to be a clean tackle by Sebastian Garcia, saving a potential counterattack there by the Bearcats. Oliver Peters going to get it to Hunick. Hunick, not a good enough ball there to get to Bayo. As Reithmere gets it out to Luke Jordan. Luke Jordan, the senior midfielder from Burnley, England. And that's intercepted by Zamora. It's going to be Patriot ball. And the yellow card actually was given to John Castro earlier. So that is now cleared up. As Lander looking to win it back, Hunick deflects it to Zombie. Zombie to Hamilton. Zombie to Curtis. Birkinshaw moving towards midfield. Past midfield, Sebastian Garcia with a game-saving tackle there. Beautiful tackle by Garcia to get the ball back in the Patriots' hands. And Zamora here trying a little bit too much as the Bearcats ultimately win the ball back. Working it down the sideline, Bernola. Gonna clear that one. Oh, and looked like a Bearcat player was trying to tie his shoe when the ball was going right for him. Unfortunately, that's gonna be, it might be a throw-in. But here's some substitutions here for Lander and Francis Marion. It looks like Curvelo is coming back into the game for Bayo, like in the first half. And it looks to be the only substitution here for the Patriots. Lander had a few substitutions. It looks like Liam Doyle may have entered back into the game. Hunick clears the ball downfield. Zombie there. Carvalho put a little bit of pressure on him, but ultimately back to Reithmere. Reithmere outside to what looks like Berkhamshaw. To McNulty, a sneaky pass by Lander. To Liam Doyle, great save by Ricardo Rossi. Max Bolton did not agree with that shot taken by Liam Doyle. Said make the extra pass, but unfortunately Liam wanted it all for himself there, but unfortunately went into the hands of Ricardo Rossi. As it is cleared by the Patriots. Reithmere gets it up to Lindley. Lindley to Berkhamshaw, back to Lindley. Lindley back to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw looking for the extra pass here, but he'll take it all the way if he has to. To Bolton, great tackle by Renola. Oh, and a fantastic shot there. A little bit of trickery by Lander as Tom Marriott there, number 11, midfielder from Nottingham, England, the senior, scores for Lander, making it an even 1-1 match. Bernola there on the play had a great tackle, but it ultimately bounced back into the boot of Tom Marriott, and he had a great shot on goal. Ricardo Rossi could not quite get the quality of sight that he wanted to, unfortunately sneaking into the back left corner of the net. And that will be the goal Lander was looking for, and they came out hot like we expected to. After that first half, we knew they were going to come out firing. They've come out with 3 more shots than Francis Marion so far in the second half. Francis Marion going to get things going quickly as Zamora here trying to win the ball back for the Patriots. And that's going to be a foul. Zamora not happy with that call, and it looks like Zamora may possibly be getting a warning here from Laredo, saying no more. Doesn't give him a card, that's the good thing. As we here in Florence, South Carolina, have a 1-1 match right now. As Lander here looking to get it again in the box. And it's cleared. As Hunick tries to clear it. Lander and Francis Marion both being very physical right now. They both want this match very badly. As Pollard. Zamora here wins the ball. Pollard there tried to get the tackle. Peters looking for the foul. And a foul is finally called on Lander here, and that's a yellow card, actually. That is a yellow card here on Lander, as there have been plenty of those handed out today, folks. Lots of fouls called, lots of handsy plays here at Hartzler Field, as these two teams both want this win very badly. This win for Lander would keep them in the top 10 of the top 25. But if Francis Marion ends up winning this game, This would definitely give them a lot more votes into the top 25, possibly a top 25 spot in NCAA Division II men's soccer. It's going to be a free kick here. Peters taking it. Peters into the box. Reithmere going to be hit going up for the free kick. It's a close call there. Reithmere with a lazy pass to Zonby. Carvalho almost there to trick the defense. Here with roughly 23 minutes left here in the second half. Lots of time left for both of these teams to get another one in the back of the net. Lander here looking for another ball through. Bernola wins the header. Castro to Rossi. Rossi downfield. Carvalho with a little bit too much aggression, knocking a Bearcat player down. Carvalho eager to defend that free kick. Out to Lindley on the free kick. Lindley down. It's going to be a over-the-top ball. Rossi there with the gloves. So Rossi's going to roll it out to Bernola. Bernola to Sam Pollard. Sam Pollard with lots of green ahead of him. To Hunick. He's going to take a bad touch on that one, but he's ultimately going to win it back. Limka. Limka to Peters. Oh, and almost a beautiful through ball to Zamora. A little too much on that one. There's the Lander here. Liam Doyle almost bounced off the ball by Carvalho. Burkham Shaw to Marriott. Marriott to Rubachevsky. That's Curtis there with a switch to Lindley, the team captain here for Lander. Lindley down to Luke Jordan. Luke Jordan back to Lindley. Lindley to Zonby. Into Max Bolton, but he loses possession of it. Oliver Peters using his pace. And it's out of bounds off the Patriots. As Lander's defense here doing their usual, keeping the possession, but they're moving it a lot quicker going forward now. They're not wasting time trying to retain possession on the back line. They're hitting through balls. They're taking shots and are saved there by Ricardo Rossi. As Rossi's going to roll that one out to Castro. Castro looking for a pass. Castro trying to look for the through ball to Carvalho. Carvalho not quick enough to get to that one. A little bit too much on it by Castro. Lindley here to Doyle. Back to Doyle. To Burkham. Oh, excuse me, not Burkham-Shaw. Now to Burkham-Shaw. Back to Doyle. Out to Luke Jordan. Luke Jordan with a cross. Great bat out by Ricardo Rossi. Peters wins back that ball to Zamora. Zamora looks for a incredibly long shot. Not even past half field. But the keeper was way out of his box. Would have been an incredible goal if Zamora would have gotten anywhere close. But it went wide right for a goal kick for Lander. Is Lander here? Marriott's going to lose it. Intercepted by Limka. Zamora back with the ball. Keeper still playing very high here for Lander. Zamora with a 1-on-2. He's going to be intercepted by Burkham Shaw. McNulty, Bernola's going to win that tackle. He's going to be pushed over by McNulty. It's going to be a free kick for the Patriots. There's Oliver Peters. No, Bernola taking the free kick. It's going to be out to Pollard. Pollard back to Bernola. Bernola to Castro. Or excuse me, Sebastian Garcia. Castro down the line. Oh, and Zamora lets it through his legs, hoping that somebody was running down the line. Lindley to Doyle. Lindley to Burkhamshaw. Back to Doyle. To Burkhamshaw. Burkhamshaw out to Lindley. Lindley off the body of Limka. Limka to Pollard. Pollard with a long ball to Zamora, right at his feet. Carvalho has to do a matrix jump to win that ball. And Zamora gets called for the foul there. He's had a difficult evening with head referee Hugo Laredo. As Burkhamshaw moves it past half field to Doyle. Doyle to Bolton. Bolton outside to Rubicheski. Marriott. Rubicheski. And that's going to be a goal kick for the Patriots. And a substitution here for Francis Marion University. Niels Goldbranson coming in for what it looks like. We do not know at the moment who he has been subbed in for. It looks like Nick Hunick. They like to do the substitution of the blondes here for Francis Marion University. Except for one of the blondes is from Lichtenberg, Germany. And the other blonde coming from Lindstrom, Minnesota. As Zamora is down on the ground as a foul is called against Lander. Zamora might not be okay. As he's still on the ground. Do we know if he is okay? At the moment, he is on his feet. So, Patriots eager to get the ball going as Lander was not ready at all. At least their middle attack was not prepared. As there's 14 minutes, roughly 14 minutes left on the clock here in a 1-1 game. Number 10, Lander, with 8 shots on goal, or not on goal, excuse me, 8 shots total for the match, with the Patriots 3. It's Branson out physicals Liam Doyle here. Liam Doyle back up. Limka. Hard pass to Garcia. Garcia to Castro. Castro back to Garcia. Garcia to Peters. Peters to Limka. Limka to Castro. Castro with a big ball to the tall Branson. He wins the header. Carvalho, there's a man down. Zombie for Lander. He's back on his feet now. He took a little bit of a hit there from the big fella Niels Branson. As Lindley ultimately wins the ball back. Now we have Berkhamshaw pushing it down the field. He's going by defenders. Bernola heads it back. Bernola clears it. It's going to be a throw in. Bernola, a nice clear there as Berkhamshaw was grooving it past our defense here at Hartzler Field. Francis Marion there. I don't know what they were doing on defense, but it was not looking good until Bernola ended up clearing the ball. As Zamora back to Garcia. Garcia with a long ball to Carvalho. Carvalho, they're not going to call it a handball, but it was one. Zombie to Lindley. Lindley to Rubachewski. Liam Doyle to Berkhamshaw. Some nifty play here by Lander, but Zamora playing a little bit back right now with the game tied 1-1. Under 12 minutes to go here at Hartzler Field. Another substitution here for the Patriots. And that would be Carvalho coming out for what it looks like Isaac Strand. It is Isaac Strand going to be up top here from Glumslov, Sweden. 5'9" forwards sophomore coming in the game. But Branson here looking to control the ball. He's going to hit a pass to Castro, but it's intercepted by Marriott. Marriott to Rubachewski. Rubachewski loses it to Branson. Branson back to Peters. Peters to Zamora. Zamora, shot on goal. It's in for the Patriots. Zamora with a beautiful finish here. And an ultimately beautiful ball on the outside of the foot by Oliver Peters. And that puts the Patriots up 2-1 here with roughly 10 minutes to go here at Hartzler Field. What a beautiful finish by Alvaro Zamora. We can't talk enough about Zamora. An absolutely great player, junior forward from Madrid, Spain. Number 11, number 1 in our hearts. Alvaro Zamora there, getting the Patriots over that hump of the 1-1 tie here in the second half. And that puts Lander on their toes for sure, as they have got to come up with an answer here with roughly 10 minutes to go, as they're going to send a deep ball like they do off kickoff. Garcia going to win the header. Peters tripped up. It's going to be called here. And Peters, if that is Peters, it does not look good for the midfielder. He's back on his feet. It's going to be a free kick for the Patriots. Castro taking it. Castro with a long ball to the tall man, Goldbranson. He's going to win it. Goldbranson. Ball back into the box. Peters, what looked like a shot, didn't quite get his boot on enough on it. And I am sure Rincon is going to make his defense here extremely difficult to budge with under 10 minutes to go here in the second half. As Isaac Strand here putting some pressure on the midfield and the forwards. He wins it. Strand putting pressure on Zombie. Out to Curtis. Curtis to Lindley. Lindley with grass in front of him. Lindley to Curtis. Curtis to Berkhamshaw. To McNulty. Doyle. Goldbranson almost intercepts. Lindley recovers. And new into the game is Marco Guelli from Cal, Germany. Castro looking to intercept, and he does. It looks like we've got some fresh boots there out on the right side of the field. As Lander has the throw in and gets it to Curtis. Curtis to Lindley. They're past midfield. Lindley looking for a inside cross. He's going to hit McNulty. McNulty going to be intercepted by Bernola. Peters with a clean tackle by Curtis. Sam Pollard going to recover, though, and give the Bearcats a throw-in. Throw in here by Lindley. Lindley with an inside cross. And that's going to be a goal kick for the Patriots. As some stretching here needed for what looks like Limca actually. Maybe a little bit of a cramp by the midfielder. As Ricardo Rossi takes the kick with roughly 7 minutes to go here. Ricardo Rossi with a long ball here to Goldbranson. doesn't win it. Curtis wins the ball ultimately. Back up in the air, Burkham-Shaw. Limka with a nice play there to get the ball out. Isaac Strand putting pressure on the defense. Back to Reithmuir. To Curtis. To Lindley. And Lander here going to be full on attack as Pollard wins a header. Goldbranson ultimately comes down with it. Passes it middle to Peters. Goldbranson making a run. It's going to be a little too hard for Francis Marion as Reithmuir ultimately brings that one in. Out to Zombie. Back to Curtis. Curtis to Burkham-Shaw. Burkham-Shaw back to Curtis. Curtis looking for a pass. Back to Burkham-Shaw. Burkham-Shaw pressured by Strand. Burkham-Shaw making a solo run here. And Lander, just like that, brings it back to 2-2. And the Patriots defense there just did not look aggressive at all as Burkham-Shaw basically made a solo run. He made a solo run, hit a great inside pass, and just like that, the Bearcats are back at it, 2-2, with 6 minutes to go here in the second half. And the Patriots have to keep their heads up here with 6 minutes left. As there's still time to get the goal they need. An even 2-2 match. Always physical and tough play for these two teams as Hafet Santiago has come in for the Patriots. And Reithmuir going to knock that one out of his box. But Limka Castro gets it back. Castro again, trying to hit Limka. Limka was being held back by the Lander defender, but they call it Patriot ball. It looks like Francis Marion will be awarded a free kick. Tom Marriott with that last goal for Lander. That's his second of the night. Him and Burkham-Shaw have been buddy-buddy, the double duo here for Lander. Francis Marion with the ball in. Reithmuir punches it out. Pollard wins it back, intercepted. Bernola sells the free kick. That's going to be, and it looks like it's going to be a yellow card for the recent substitution for Lander. Marco Guelli from Germany. He's going to get a yellow here. We've also got a recent substitution who we haven't named yet for the Patriots. Wamo, Bonet from Portol, Spain, a sophomore midfielder. As Santiago is going to take the free kick here with under 5 minutes to go. Santiago with a good ball. Almost snipped in by Bernola. Some backspin free kick there, but Oliver Peters It's a 3-on-3 here for Lander. Bolton to Marriott. Marriott not going to get that one off the ground. It's going to be scooped up by Ricardo Rossi. He's going to roll it out to Castro. Castro to Bonnet. Bonnet to Peters. Peters to Limka. 4 minutes left on the clock here. Garcia to Rossi. Rossi back to Garcia. Garcia to Castro. Castro moving forward. Santiago gets the pass in to Castro. Castro was looking for Bonnet, but he wasn't able to get it there. As Lander pushes it down the field again. Marriott, the dangerous man for Lander. Excuse me. McNulty here. Looking for Marriott. As Rossi's going to come down with that one. With 3 minutes here, Francis Marion looking for that third goal, as well as Lander. Santiago here passes it to Limka. Limka to Rossi. Rossi out to Bernola. Bernola, long ball. Sam Pollard looking to get there, but it's not going to be short enough. It's going to be into the hands of Reithmere. Zombie going to Bernola. Bernola hits the header. Lindley to McNulty. McNulty to Marriott. Marriott swifty with it. With 2 goals tonight. Lander with a cross in. Pollard off the foot. And with under 2 minutes to go, a substitution coming in for the Patriots soon, but Lander here, Marriott taking the corner. Marriott gets it up. It's a low ball. And a save by Rossi, but he's hit on the head. And there's no call as of yet as to who as the trainer, Trevor Hess, has to come out here and check on the keeper. As it was Max Bolton who might have nicked Ricardo Rossi's head going in for the save on the corner. And Bernola not a fan of that foul. He's going to hit it out to Garcia. Garcia, a little too much on that one for Bonnet. That's into the foot of Reithmere. Out to Curtis. Curtis to Berkhamshaw.
1 minute remaining.
With 1 minute remaining here on the clock, Bernola intercepted by Doyle. McNulty, Bolton, McNulty, blocked by Bernola. Lindley, out by Goldbranson. And that's definitely going to take some time off the clock as Lander's going to have to hurry here. Lander, Marriott taking the free kick. Santiago the one-man wall here for the Patriots with 27 seconds left on the clock here in the second half. As Marriott looking to take the free kick here. Almost like a corner kick, basically, for Lander, as they're going to be looking for the cross. Rossi got to be on his toes here. This is the chance right here for Lander to get a lead. The ball is up, and it's a good ball, but it's ultimately headed out. Back out to Berkhamshaw. Won by Garcia. Castro hits it to Santiago. And watch out, fans, as another one comes soaring out.
8, 7, 6,
With 5 seconds left.
4, 3,
That there, it's going to be the end
0.
of the second half. As that was a action-packed second half there. As
We will now play golden goal overtime.
for one moment, Lander was up. And they tied it. They scored another. And then FMU brought it to 2-1. And Lander ended up hurting those chances. Francis Marion late here in the second half. We're going to be coming up with golden goal here, overtime rules. First team to score is the winner here of this match. We're going to see what happens here, as they're going to give them about 5 minutes to get some water, get some rest, get ready for this overtime, which is about 10 minutes long. Golden goal rules, basically meaning whoever scores first wins the game. There's no PK shootouts in this early in the season. But golden goal coming up here at Hartzler Field in the second half here. It's been all about Tom Marriott for the Bearcats. He had 2 goals for Lander today, number 11. An incredible game so far for him. From Nottingham, England, he's a senior for Lander. But you can't talk about Marriott unless you talk about Berkhamshaw, number 8. Midfielder junior from Mansfield, England. Doing a lot of that solo counterattack on Francis Marion, and that kept them on their toes. But unfortunately, those 2 goals by Tom Marriott was when the defense of Francis Marion was least expecting it. Coming into this golden goal opportunity, they've got 10 minutes. Francis Marion has to come out more aggressive than they have been in this first and second half. The first half, I thought both teams were semi-aggressive. They both came out with similar strategies, passing the ball, keeping the possession. But here in the second half, we saw aggression from both teams, mainly coming from Lander. As I pointed out at halftime, Lander would have had to come out with fire and a lot more intensity if they wanted to come out of this game with a win and stay in that top 10 spot of the NCAA Division II men's soccer standings. Francis Marion did what they had to do when the game was tied. A great ball by Oliver Peters to Alvaro Zamora, and he hits it into the back left of the net. And then here comes the boy Tom Marriott, who ends up tying the game late in the second half. So now we're going to have golden goal here. We're going to have golden goal, 10 minutes. Typical overtime rules here. Unfortunately, no PK shootouts. As much as I want to see penalty shootouts, We won't be seeing penalty shootouts anytime soon. Let's take a moment here to talk about Conference Carolinas. Conference Carolinas has a rich tradition and roots that dates back to its early initial inception on December 6th, 1930. Conference Carolinas believes in the development and formation of the whole person in body, mind, and soul. Our students are nationally recognized for their extraordinary success in the classroom, in the community, and at the highest levels of NCAA competition. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas. And some sponsors here that Francis Marion University Athletics would like to thank: Adidas, Circle Park Behavioral Health Sciences, McLeod Regional Medical Center, Ken Jackson and Remax Professionals, Pepsi, McDonald's, Raines Hospitality, including Fairfield Inn, Spring Hill Suites, Courtyard by Marriott, Comfort Inn, and Hyatt Place. As the clock runs down here, the last 20 seconds of resting time here is we're about to start Golden Goal in the first home match at Hartzler Field. How exciting is that? If you're tuning in on the live stream, I'm Alex Wober, and I'll be taking you through the game tonight here at Hartzler Field. Francis Marion University Patriots versus the Lander University Bearcats. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at WoberAlex. We'll go ahead and get this game started as the 10 minutes is underway. Francis Marion coming out with their original starting lineup, except with Curvelo up top instead of Bayo. Hunick back out there, as well as Goldbranson still on the field. Berkhamshaw to Doyle. Doyle out to Curtis. Berkhamshaw to Doyle. Zombie to Doyle, back to Hamilton, out to Curtis. Doyle hits it over to Berkhamshaw, working that possession that we've seen all match from Lander, working the possession, trying to find the right opening as they think they might have found one. McNulty out to Curtis. Curtis cuts inside. Curtis to Doyle. Doyle to Berkhamshaw. And that's a dangerous guy to give the ball to with plenty of space. Doyle out to Curtis. Curtis to McNulty. Curtis back to McNulty. McNulty looking for the cross. Goldbranson defending. Doyle to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw to Marriott. And a great save by Ricardo Rossi. One-handed save. Marriott almost came up with his third goal, almost giving him the hat trick, folks. Ricardo Rossi saving the Patriots there in golden goal opportunity. As that was one of the better saves we've seen from the keepers tonight. And he hits a little bit of sand there on the corner kick, and that's going to be headed out of bounds by Castro. It's going to be roughly 7 minutes left to play here in overtime, as Zombie to Doyle. Doyle to Curtis. Pollard defending. McNulty to Doyle. Doyle back to Curtis. To McNulty. McNulty to Berkhamshaw. Dangerous guy to give the ball to with this much space. Like I've said time in and time out tonight, him and Marriott are a dangerous duo. Berkhamshaw. To Curtis. Berkhamshaw. As Lander tries to sell a penalty kick. They tried to get one there. Unfortunately, the actor was not Oscar worthy on that. Zombie there wins the ball, and it gets to Doyle in the midfield. Doyle pushes it forward. Doyle looks for the sideline, not enough. Castro heads it to Hunick. Hunick with a beautiful touch. Hunick pushing it forward. Hunick loses it to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw saves it. Some nifty dribbling here by Lander. He's to McNulty. McNulty looking for a shot. Marriott with the ball. The person you don't want to give the ball to here. Patriots do not want to see that guy with the ball in their box. But Lander definitely looking for Marriott here as they're trying to get him the hat trick. As Rossi ended up coming down with the ball as he gets it out to Garcia. As Ricardo Rossi has had an eventful night in goal, as well as Reithmere. As Carvello here getting bounced around like a pinball out there trying to come down with the ball. Is Bernola to Limka. Limka tries a through ball, and Reithmere there. He's playing very high off of his line tonight because that's definitely an adjustment there by Lander, as Francis Marion has been doing a lot of through balls and over the top balls, as well as Lander. Both of these teams take the ranking out of number 10 Lander, and you look at both of these teams, they're very similar game styles, and they play very similar with their wing backs and their forwards. In their defense, they're very possessive, and their keepers as well have done both a decent job tonight. They've had both good saves, so very similar teams despite the national ranking of Lander. But Carvello here has been looking for his chance. He's going to hit Limka, but Limka's going to be, he's going to deflect it back to himself. Limka looking for Peters. Peters with 4 minutes roughly. Branson going to get through the defense. Branson with a nice move. And not close enough to Carvello as they come up so close there with a chance to put the ball in the back of the net. It just wasn't. Carvello just wasn't in the right place at the right time there for the Patriots. As Doyle here gets it to Curtis. Curtis back to Doyle. Doyle to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw back to Doyle. McNulty to Marriott. Back to Doyle, back to Berkhamshaw. Berkhamshaw to Doyle. Doyle back out to McNulty. Curtis. Pollard intercepts. To Peters. Peters with a good move, cutting inside, getting past Berkhamshaw. And a long ball to Castro, perfectly placed by Peters. Peters here gets it to Hunick. Hunick is called offsides. Surprisingly, Hunick comes back, but They still call the offsides on him. Unick was looking for his second goal possibly tonight. As Curtis here. Back to Doyle. Doyle to Berkhamshaw. And they're going to call a free kick here for the Patriots. McNulty to Marriott, the guy I don't want it to go to, and it's wide right by Marriott. A lucky break there by the Patriots as they've got some substitutions coming on, as well as Landers Wagner coming on for Berkhamshaw, surprisingly. We've got Isaac Strand back out on the field for Corvello and Javier Bayo for what looks like to be Nick Hunick. 1 minute left here in Golden Goal. Start putting on the Jets because it's about to get intense here with 1 minute left. As Wagner comes in with fresh legs. Back to Wagner. Wagner to Doyle. Under 40 seconds now. Curtis. Looks like Lander's going to hold the ball for the last shot of the game. Wagner. To Zombie. Zombie to Doyle. Doyle with a ball in. A high ball here. Peters with 10 seconds. Keeper is far off of his line if they're going to take a shot.
2, 1.
And that's going to be the match here at Hartzler Field. I believe they may have one more opportunity for Golden Goal. Looks like they will. As Rincon here brings the team in. The Patriots and the Bearcats going to have one more opportunity here. My apologies for saying the match was over. I thought it was one 10-minute period for Golden Goal, but it's going to be another opportunity here for the Patriots. As they will have a few more minutes to try and get past Golden Goal. As they will switch sides here. Like this time to talk about Conference Carolinas. Conference Carolinas is where tradition is unmatched and excellence is earned daily. Our 13 current member institutions work hard daily to build champions in body, mind, and soul. It's who we are. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas. Make sure to keep up with all of the great things happening in Conference Carolinas through social media. You can follow Conference Carolinas on Twitter and Instagram at CONF Carolinas. That's CONF Carolinas. Make sure to also like Conference Carolinas on Facebook at facebook.com/Conference Carolinas. Keep up to date on all the things happening in Conference Carolinas by visiting conferencecarolinas.com daily. And back here for the last 10 minutes of golden goal opportunity. Unfortunately, that was not the match like I said before break. There is one more opportunity. And I'm still getting used to the college rules here of men's soccer. But Lander might have an early goal here. But it's cleared out by Garcia. It's going to be a throw in here by Curtis. We do need to see some aggressiveness here from Lander and the Patriots. As Bayo going to lose the ball after trying to do a little bit too much with it on their side of the field. They're going to go in for a cross. And Peters, with that pace, tries to get around the defenders. A through ball here to Bolton. It's blocked. Bolton gets it back. And just like that, Lander with a very quick goal here. Under a minute and a half. Referees are talking. I don't know what just happened there for the Patriots, but that was quite unexpected. Lander came out real quick there and to score that goal, and all you can see is disappointment on the faces of some of these Patriot players because they knew how close they were to victory and how hard they played in this matchup against Lander. Unfortunately, the Patriots will start their season off with a loss, and Lander will stay in the top 10 of the top 25 NCAA Division II men's soccer standings. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Alex Wober, and this is it from Hartzler Field.